The speaker is not telling you what to think, but what he's thinking, not what to think. The right thought, wrong thought, noble thought, ignoble thought, the ideological thought, dialectical thought, all that is still thinking. Put it in any framework, in any cadre, it's still thinking. Whether it be the thinking of the right, or the extreme left, or the extreme right, or the extreme center, it is still thinking. Thinking has brought about enormous good to man. Thinking has produced great technology. Thinking has produced medicine, surgery. Thinking also has produced terrible wars, brutal, appalling cruelties. So, what we are talking about is what is thinking, not how to think, or thinking together. When we understand the nature of thinking, not merely verbally or intellectually, but understand the quality of thinking, the source of thinking. Really, when we grasp it, then we can go much further. But merely to remain in the realm of thinking, clever lawyers, shady lawyers, they all think, whether it is the hermit, whether it's the monk, whether you are related to a wife in the recognition, all that is the movement of thought. Either we think together and therefore form a clique, or belonging together to some ideological state, thinking together to become Catholic, Protestant, and all the divisions of Christianity. I don't know if you have noticed, in this little village there must be a dozen churches. Oh, I don't know the number, one has never counted them. But it's still thinking. And as we went into that question, what is thinking? We won't go into it now. If you are interested in it, you can read or think about it. But it's very simple, not complicated. That is, all our thinking is based on memory. All our thinking is based on the knowledge. Whatever that knowledge be, whether it is great knowledge, accumulated knowledge, or the knowledge of a human being who is totally ignorant, doesn't know how to read or write, living in a little hamlet, poverty-ridden shack, is still thinking. So thinking is based on experience, and experience is always limited. Therefore knowledge is always limited, now or in the future or in the past. And our memories are also limited, because they're all based on knowledge and experience. So thinking is always in the future or in the present or in the past, is limited. Where there is limitation, there must be conflict. If one is thinking about oneself all the time, as most people do, how they look, how they walk, how they behave, what kind of religion they belong, what is their faith, what is their, and so on, thinking endlessly about themselves or about their ideas and so on. So, thinking has divided mankind. Americans, Russians, Asiatics, Indians, Far East, Near East, Jew, Arab, and so on. So wherever there is a limited thought, and thought is always limited, there must be conflict. Either physical conflict, or intellectual conflict, or ideological conflict, or conflict between man and woman, which is going on now. So we must, at the end of the day, observing all this, what is freedom? Can there be ever complete, unbroken freedom? The word freedom means also not only to act freely, to think freely, but also that word contains originally love. Freedom also means compassion. And we have made that freedom, which is the most extraordinary thing, so absolutely necessary for human beings, into a very, very small affair. That is, each one wants to do exactly what he wants, or what he thinks he should have. And that limits the immense freedom implied in that word. Freedom is not from something, from my complex or from my prejudice and all. That's rather childish. Forgive me for using that word. Freedom implies the end of total, not only attachment, that's again an attribute of one's ego, the absence of the me, the absence totally of self-interest. Let's talk it over together. So we must first consider, as we have in the past, we must go into a little more, why is it human beings, to whatever race, cult, group, and so on, why do they live in disorder? What is the reason? What is the cause, the root of disorder? We're asking each other this question. Don't please wait for me, for the speaker to answer the question. Because you are responsible for the question. And you are responsible to find out why we accept disorder throughout the world, politically, religiously, economically, and socially. There's Such vast disorder in the world. War is the ultimate disorder. So what is the root of disorder? Have we ever questioned it? Or are you merely out of disorder, living in disorder, try to find order? You understand my question?